Hey there, Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, Gemini Rising. It's Maggie. This is Moon Directed. Welcome to this channel where we work with energy cycles to see how we can best utilize them to move our life forward in the most positive way possible. And you guys have got some energy cycles happening for you that is very beneficial. North Node is in your sign, and as of today, on the 21st, we've got Aquarius moving into we have Saturn moving into Aquarius, so that, and Jupiter, so that's very supportive energy. That's trine energy that will be trining your house most of the year. Jupiter does move for a little while into Pisces and then retrogrades back, but mostly you have a lot of support for anything that you want to expand by way of your education. What do you want to know? Long distance travel. Things are going to start expanding for you. So, especially with Jupiter, when Jupiter is in your ninth house like that travel could happen. Maybe not the first time, but maybe when it retrogrades back in and starts moving forward. So, okay, so a couple of things. I do want to thank you so much for your likes, your shares, your comments, for helping me to feel supported and inspired this year. I really appreciate everybody showing up for me the way they did when I was going through my healing journeys, the emails and just all the love and the support. So thank you so much for that. If you are a subscriber, thank you. I think that if you hit the notification bell, you will be notified when I upload my videos. So I upload the weekly videos on Mondays. The monthly videos come out on Sundays. So check, the monthly video just came out as I'm recording this. This is the 20th I'm recording on, and the monthly videos came out this morning. So for Capricorn season. So be sure to check that out. I will link it below for you. And Monday Night Live. Monday nights at 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. I go live. I pull cards for each of the signs. On the 21st, we're going to pull cards for this energy of the solstice and this energy of the great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. And then on next Monday, on the 28th, we're going to pull cards for health, wealth, love, and destiny for 2021. And if you show up in those chats, I pull individual cards for you also. So it's like getting a little mini private reading. And next week on the 28th, I will stay as long as I can, because pulling 4 cards, it's going to take a little longer. And so anybody that shows up in the chat, I really want to try to get you some cards. So come on, show up for that. And check out on the community page, I put up a video about the course I'm going to be offering called Discovering Your Destiny. We will get into your personal chart. We will use your numerology. We will do a variety of things to help you to see what it is that you came here to do, and give you the tools to work with the energies as we shift to facilitate you reaching your destiny. And I put it between this eclipse cycles. And so it's from January 9th until June 19th. So it will encompass those eclipses that are going to be coming up in May and June for you. So very beneficial. So check that out. And if it's something that you're interested in, send me an email and we'll get you signed up for it. So what I just did while we were talking was, I was talking. I pulled a couple of cards for the energy of this great conjunction. This is happening at 1:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the U.S. on the 21st. And so that would be probably the day you're watching this. But this energy is immense. And it's about evolution through revolution, when Jupiter conjuncts with Saturn. So it is the energy moving up to it and it through it. And so it's kind of like, I heard it described in a really nice way as a bell curve. And so like the energy's peaking on the 21st, but we're still being the energy for a while. So what does that mean for you, and how can you best use it? And for you, Gemini, what's really interesting is I feel like just coming out of this eclipse cycles, right? First, you had the big eclipse in your full moon in Gemini that we had a month ago, 5 weeks ago, and then last week, yeah. So that would have been 3 weeks ago, and then last week we had the full moon in Sagittarius, which probably shook up your world a lot, because we have after the storm. There's that, but also Saturn and Jupiter create chaos, right? Evolution through revolution. So after the storm, and I feel like this is also this energy of the nodes being in Gemini, North Node, South Node, in Sagittarius, so on that axis. There's going to be a lot of storms. You're not done. You're not done. I'm sorry. My North Node is in Cancer. And so the last 18 months, I was being hit big time. So I understand what it feels like. And there's a lot of growth opportunity. And so when I see the owl coming in, bringing the wisdom, I want you to be aware that through the process of this evolution, you're going to learn a lot about yourself. You're going to learn a lot about what's going on in the world. You're going to learn about where it is you want to go, because Gemini is all about being curious about what else is out there. So there's a lot of wisdom and knowledge being brought to you. And the other card that came out was Follow Your Own Rhythm. And it's the number 5. And the number 5 is about change. So this is a 1 and this is a 5. And so there's cycles and there's rhythm, and the moon, the nodes being in your sign, and Saturn and Jupiter being in Aquarius, supporting this energy. There is a lot of cyclical changes happening in your life, a lot of moving through, a lot of releasing and letting go to create space for something new coming in. And so it's a dance. And see how she's dancing? And one of the messages that I got from Spirit for the collective was about music and dance and singing and dancing and movement. And here it looks like she's dancing in the rhythm. So part of your healing process will be probably to play music a lot, to sing in the shower, in the car, or in a choir if you're that good. I sang in a choir, but I wasn't that good. They like buried me in the bag. Sing with this person here that's louder and you could follow along. But do what you need to do to raise your vibrational energy, to open yourself up to the lessons that are being brought through these cycles. Very cyclical energy that is going to be tagging you a lot over the next year or so. But it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. It's really important that you bear in mind that. I also wanted to pull a card because the sun moves into Capricorn at 5:02 a.m. on Monday, the 21st. And it is the solstice. And I just felt like it deserves another card. But I went and I picked cards that have to do with, because Capricorn is about leadership and it is about career sector, and it is generally energy of that. I wanted to find out what was your superpower. Apparently everybody's getting to your superpower that you can really tap into. And what's really interesting is you got another owl, and it's called the Sage. The truth will set me free. After the storm, the knowledge and the wisdom, the truth will set you free. So you move with your own rhythms. But during Capricorn season, there is a need to really allow the truth of what you're learning already so far, right? That you just already had 2 eclipses. Plus there was that one eclipse that happened back in May that was in Sagittarius in the South Node. And that was followed up by 2 more eclipses. They were happening in your 12th house, 1st house, 2nd house. They were happening in your 2nd house of what you value, and your 8th house of transformation. The Cancer Capricorn ones. So there's been a lot of energy building and building and building and building. And so what have you learned so far? What have you learned about what's important to you? What's of value to you? Your self-worth, your self-esteem. Where do you want to go next? What are you doing? What is your rhythm? And you have the Engineer. Love this. Every problem has a solution. Using your wisdom and knowledge, staying in your own personal rhythm, you will find and discover what it is that you need to know. And so for Capricorn season, what a great way to start off, because this right now, we have the moon on Monday in the area of, it's in Pisces, and Pisces just passed through its conjunction with Neptune about the dreams and the goals and your philosophies. And here you go. Where's the path forward? And there's so many steps. Can you see that ladder with all those steps? So the Engineer knows how to construct a supportive structure, a pathway. Okay, what I'm seeing is actually like a catwalk, like a bridge from this to there, and it's got a lot of slats. It's not solid, but how do you get from here to there? What are the steps necessary? How can you? It's like a suspension bridge, and it's going to be swaying a lot from the storms of the energies. But keep building it and creating the solutions, and one foot in front of the other, and learning and growing as you go. There's going to be this energy when the moon moves into Aries. It gets there on Monday night at 5:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the U.S. There's about assessing and discernment. And that doesn't surprise me, because the first thing it does is it squares off with the sun in Capricorn. Capricorn likes structure. Capricorn likes, order and what are we doing and what are we building here. So there's a real need to assess and really tap into the superpower of the engineering that you have figured out from the things you've already recognized and noticed. And at the same time, the moon is going to be squaring off with Mercury, which rules your planet. Your sign. And so there is this need to kind of dig a little deeper, to sort through the problem, to find a solution. What have you learned so far? And start from there. Start from there. We're building from there. So I wrote something that is just bothering the living tar out of me, and I need to fix it. For some reason, I wrote that Mercury and the sun were in Aquarius. I was doing it at 6 o'clock this morning. Not enough caffeine at that point. Okay. Yeah, I love this. Look, you have knowledge. Like, I can't... Spirit just really, really, really... want you to pay attention to what have you learned so far. What works and what doesn't work. What do you need to know more about in order to engineer and create the solution? Like, engineering it's math, but it's analyzing a situation. When I was in college, I took this course, so I studied to be an engineer. But being dyslexic, that wasn't working out for me. But I can tell you, we took this class that was called Statics. And Statics was about how do you create and build something so that it's stable. And that's what I feel like you're doing, is you're looking at everything. I mean, everything is literally up in the air now, right? Except for the sun and Mercury, which want to be grounded. But there's this need to build a structure that is stable enough to go high. But it needs a solid foundation. That's engineering, and that solid foundation is actually going to have to come from knowledge and wisdom. So wisdom is knowledge that you distill down and apply in a very practical way, and that's how you get the wisdom. So when I see knowledge, that says to me there's a need for more research, there's a need for more information, but at the same time you have all these wisdom cards that tell me you already have a lot of information. So by really being curious about what it is you know and what do you need to know more about, you're going to figure out which way to go and where to gather more information and more guidance. Because when that moon moves into Taurus, again, a very grounded energy, and so that's going to be very supportive of this, building a structural foundation that really works. As soon as I said that, like somebody in the building slammed their door so hard the whole building shook, which is crazy. That's never happened before. And so it's like that when the moon runs into Uranus. Uranus likes to shift things around, and so there is an energy, a possibility that is something that could be significant. And that would probably happen on Thursday the 24th. So before I go any farther, I do want to wish Merry Christmas to those of you that celebrate that. Happy Kwanzaa to those that celebrate that. My neighbors to the north and in the UK, happy Boxing Day. Did you get me a present too? All right, so here we go. The moon Moves into Taurus at 5:55 a.m. on the 24th. That's a lot of change. 555. 5 is all about change. But it's soul oriented because when you add it all up, it becomes a 6. That's soulmate energy. That's healing energy. It's change that brings about healing, that puts us on our soul path. It's beautiful energy to go with all this. I'm really excited about that number. When I saw that, I was just like, woo. So the energy while the moon is in Taurus is very peaceful. There's a couple of uncomfortable places, but mostly they're happening briefly. And so if you maintain the focus on the peace that you want to bring in, I really think you can do that. And so it is about releasing your fears and anxieties. What you spend time on, what you focus on is what you manifest. So focusing instead on this self-nurturing, self-care, protective, create healthy boundaries and maintain them. Create healthy boundaries and maintain them. That showed up a lot when I was doing the Capricorn readings for the monthly, and I don't know if I mentioned those, but those came out on Sundays, so be sure to check that out. And then we have willpower. Capricorn is all about disciplined, consistent action in order to have the success you want. So you have nature signs. Be receptive to the subtle messages from nature as you go about your day. Nature talks to us continually. We need only to open our hearts and minds. And magical blessings. Whatever you're going through, you are being assisted by magical fairy blessings. The fairies say you can bless others too. So seeking the peace. And if you can get outside in nature and find some time off by yourself, I would highly recommend doing that. I need to close this notification. It's very distracting. So allow yourself to count your blessings, and when it says bless others, which is really interesting because it's happening here during this gift giving time, but the blessings can be words of support and love. It doesn't have to be something that you purchase for someone, right? You can box up the love for them in a nice package of, I really appreciate this aspect of you in my life. And so thank you for being there, right? And say that to spirit, say that to people in your life, and say that to yourself. Love yourself for being in your life and supporting yourself. Then it's time to focus because the moon is going to move into Gemini. 6:33 p.m. And the moon at that point is all about the focus. And now we're in your first house. And that easy breezy, dreamy energy. It's time to bring it down, ground it, and start focusing on what you want to manifest. Capricorn is all about getting it done, being consistent, right? There's some really harmonious energy that day. I have to say, though, that Mercury, your ruling planet, is kind of in an uncomfortable angle with the moon in Gemini, but by choosing your words and speaking kindly to yourself and to others, saying things in a very kind, loving, blessing way, you can avoid any problems with that. Well, this is a second time that card has shown up, and I haven't done that many yet. Ooh. So after the storm, and this one says storm. Every hurricane comes to an end. So I think as the energy was building through and up to this pinnacle, with the eclipse energy going on also, I think you guys have been a little rocking and rolling. I've seen it in your readings, and I think you know where in your life things have been rocking and rolling. There's been a storm, but look, she's putting her crown on. Okay? Her crown of sovereignty and divinity. She is taking what is important, her divinity, her sovereignty, her sense of self-worth, self-esteem, self-value, and she's moving away from a situation that's not working. Not working at all. So this one says, I sometimes notice this, sometimes I don't. She's walking on, she's got a prosthetic leg. She's a little wounded, but she's got her sword of truth. And she's heading into battle. Now, it says dragons slay them all. I find this, I'm bothered by this. But I want to say the dragons are there to support you. So think of them as your friends, your protectors, your spirit guide team. I don't know what you're going to slay, but I think it's your fears. I think it's your anxieties, and I think it's your unwillingness to let something go because it's time to let it go. Because we have the tree, let them go. So focus on self-love, self-nurturing. What have you learned from these cycles? What is the wisdom? You're moving into your own beat, your own rhythm. Perfect. You're perfect. Remember that. Put your crown on. So whatever it is that you're moving away from, and the holidays have a really interesting way of setting us up to think everything is supposed to be a Hallmark movie, and for most of us it's not, right? And this year, really not. But when that moon was in Aries, it came into conjunction with Chiron. And that's in a very public sector, your 11th house. And so it's possible that it was really making very public announcement, right? There was this announcement energy when the sun on the 19th, the sun and Mercury that rules your sign was in the galactic center. And so this very public announcement in your public sector was probably out there. Like, stuff's out there. It was in your, that happened in Sagittarius. So that would have been your 7th house of partnership. So you pick up your crown and exit the building and let whatever it is go down in flames. You don't have to put out the flames. It's not your job to save the world. It's your job to save yourself. And the way you save yourself is through self-love, through recognizing your sovereignty, through recognizing that you are important and other people's opinions of you do not matter. They don't matter. You matter. And the words you speak to yourself really matter. So don't let other people tell you what to think about yourself or how to speak to yourself. You tell yourself, I am a sovereign divine being. I am love and I am light. And I'm going to go out in the world and I'm going to share my love and my light into the world. And I am going to manifest and create what it is that I came here to manifest and create. What I desire and what fills me with joy and happiness. That's what I'm creating. I'm creating joy and happiness right now in this every now moment. This moment, I'm creating joy and happiness. Next moment, I'm creating joy and happiness. That's my goal. That's my job. And you do it through really paying attention to what these cycles have taught you. With coming off of these eclipses with all this energy of release, there's a real need to let it go. You know what needs to go. But after the storm, there is wisdom, so much wisdom. And then it's time to start engineering your life by finding your own rhythm and knowing that you are blessed and that you create blessings for yourself and for others. And you are divinely guided and protected through this process. And if you're unsure, that ask St. Michael to come and help you. Always shows up. You just have to ask. You just have to ask. So I'm sending you love and blessings. And I'm asking that you send yourself love and blessings and that you create and manifest that for yourself. All right? Guys, take good care of yourselves. I hope I see you for Moon Day Night Live. It's pretty fun time. It's a small group that's been showing up, but we've been having fun. So come and join us. And then, of course, if you are curious, if you're interested, if you want to reconstruct your next steps, if you not reconstruct but construct your next steps using your blueprint of your soul's path that you came here on, it's all in your birth chart. We're going to break it down. Check out the video I made about discovering your destiny and see if it's something for you. I hope it is, and I hope that I will see you there too. Until then, I'll see you next time. And remember, the videos always come out on Mondays. All right, you take good care.